latest episode of that SEC podcast. I'm your host, Michael Bratton. Go by SEC Mike on the Twitters. And there he is, everybody's favorite cousin Shane. What's up, buddy?
Hey, buddy, what's going on?
Oh, I'll tell you, Shane. I've just literally been waiting for about 6 hours for seeing if Brian Kelly's going to get fired or not. I think we're going to have to wait another day or two, though.
Yeah, it feels like they're going to fire everybody but Brian Kelly today. So I don't know how that works out, but I will tell you, brother, what a freaking weekend of college football. Especially that second slate of games. I mean, you couldn't walk away. I was glued to the TV. We were just discussing this. This is the wildest weekend of football I can recall.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty stunning. Can we fire an interim? I mean, Bobby Petrino. I mean, I'm ready to fire all these guys, Shane. I was ready to fire Sarkisian, with all the NFL rumors and all that, and then his team coming out. Then they make a wild comeback. Buddy, how about the road teams? I put it here in the title because it's such an amazing stat. 6-1 were the road teams this weekend in the SEC after just a completely awful start for road teams here in the Southeastern Conference. These games were unpredictable. They were wild. I was calling them cock tee sober because we had so much almost upsets that we had wild finishes. But, man, I don't even know where to begin. You know what?
I don't either. I really don't. And I mean, you kind of hit on Coach Kelly. I guess that would be a pretty good start since everybody's and the governor. Apparently everybody's down there discussing this roster right now.
All right. So, I mean, they say we don't talk about them Aggies, Shane. Let's talk about them whooping some LSU ass. 49-25. What a damn game, Shane. And hell, I thought right off the bat, I was like, uh-oh. This LSU offensive line is, they've been trying to rework it. It's still a problem here.
Yeah.
A&M scored a touchdown on their first two drives. Marcel Reed running, Marcel Reed passing. He's a true dual threat out there. And then LSU responded with, they don't care how many guys they got on Trey Green. They said, we'll just throw him the ball. He'll come up with it. And, hell, he did, Shane. And then LSU blocks a punt. You're thinking, oh, okay, here you go, Tiger Stadium alive. This is where it's going to happen. Marcel Reed threw a couple picks there in the first half. LSU had the lead, 18-14. And if you're an LSU fan, you got to be feeling pretty good, right?
Yeah.
But Elko and company, they were completely unfazed, Shane, because they knew they had the better team, and the better team they did, because they whooped LSU's ass really all game aside from those mistakes. Beat them 35-7 in the second half alone. Shane, Casey Concepcion busted the game wide open with a 79-yard punt return touchdown. How about that Marcel Reed on a goal line? He stopped in his damn tracks, and Harold Perkins ran by him like a damn road runner. That was pretty funny. Fire Brian Kelly chance all second half. LSU fans cleared the hell out of there, Shane. How about this stat, Shane? A&M had 138 rushing yards in the second half. Mm-hmm. LSU had -8, so over 140-yard difference here for the end of the game. A&M had 224 rushing yards. LSU had 60. A&M averaged 16.8 yards per pass completion, and for the first time since 1992, A&M's 8-0. Most points scored at LSU in program history. Largest margin of victory over LSU in Baton Rouge since 1975. And here we are, firing Brian Kelly's ass.
Whoa! Thought Cassius Howe got in here. Well, Nuts going to have some nightmares this week, Mike. I'll tell you, and I know it's so easy. It's so easy to get in here and just talk about how LSU squandered this one, right? But I don't think we should overlook just how dominant Texas A&M looked. And this was not a great game. I would venture to say this is not one of Marcel Reed's favorite games, right? 2 interceptions. There was a lot of mistakes during this thing. And I just can't help but wonder, what if this was a flawless game? How many touchdowns would A&M have won by? That's where I'm at, because I use this game as a barometer. Like, I wasn't in the camp that Texas A&M hasn't played anyone, but I mean, I was flirting with the idea, right? And I was completely wrong, man. Texas A&M is not only the best team in the Southeastern Conference right now, but they're the best team in the country.
Oh, you ready to go that far? Is Marcel Reed the Heisman favorite?
I mean, he's got to be in conversation, right? I mean, you talk about ultimate dual threat. And again, didn't play his greatest game here, but every time that Texas A&M stepped on that football field, especially offensively in that second half, I didn't think, hey, they're not going to get a score on this drive. That's just how confident I felt like Marcel Reed gave this team when he was out there.
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, I can't argue with it. I got him number one in the power rankings. The only 8-0 team in the conference, 5-0 in the SEC. So off to one hell of a start. What game you think looms largest for A&M? Now they got 2 weeks to prepare, so they're gonna be hearing it, Shane.
Yep.
This is what I was saying last night on the drunken power rankings. I mean, they're 2 weeks. They're gonna get their ass kissed, and cousin Shane says they're gonna win the national championship after doubting them for 8 months, but now they're the best team in the world. At Missouri, South Carolina at home, Sanford, of course, they'll whip the shit out of them. But at Texas, what's the toughest game for A&M?
Well, we can't overlook Sam, as Kurt Herbstreit would say. You know, I don't know if you saw that one. He messed up in the box, but truthfully, it's the next one, right? It's the next one. I mean, the on the road to Mizzou, this is a football team that we're going to get to here in a second that has their back against the wall, cannot afford to lose any more games. And A&M, if you're feeling cocky now, you think about this game last year. You know, this is the time that you miss some steps. This is the time that you take your foot off the gas, or maybe you don't apply yourself as hard during practice. You know, and those valuable reps can be wasted. And you come out here and get exposed November 8th. I don't think that happens. I think this is a well-coached football team. Mike Elko he's coaching his damn and he's getting angry. I love it. He gets angry in the press conferences. This is a guy that I feel like has a good pulse on this football team. But the main thing here, Mike, is don't get too confident, right? Don't get too cocky, because you got three out of the next 4 games you can lose if you do not come in prepared.
Yeah.
That's Alabama, South Carolina, and
right?
Texas. Yeah, I mean,
I feel you.
Yeah.
I'm just sitting here thinking about just soaking in all this A&M sunshine pumping.
Yeah.
From the guy who keeps doubting them. And hell, you picked LSU to win this damn football game. I
did. You know what it was? It was kind of, you mentioned it with the 6-1 road. I did this with Ole Miss, and I did this with LSU. I thought to myself, if this is neutral site, I would have chose A&M. I would have chose Ole Miss, but they weren't. And I look at, even Elko talks about how many games they've won down there in Death Valley. I just said, you know what? I feel like, you know, similar to what I just said about Mizzou, they got to get this one, right? And there in the second half, I felt like, hey, we may have that. Then all of a sudden, A&M said, "No, we're gonna beat you now."
Yeah. Hey, shout out Shane. TB, give us $50. Just wanted to jump on real quick and show some love. This pig I'm married to says I've watched too much football already this weekend. Bye-bye and go Rams. Appreciate you, Tim. What a comment.
Oh, I hope you didn't subscribe with her phone. You know?
And then Jason James, appreciate you. I hope the double cousin curse doesn't come back.
Oh, yeah, I know. I'm a little worried because, you know, A&M did this to me last year, right? You know, they went on a little hot streak, and I got bought back in, and then I got disappointed. And, you know, I mean, say what you want, Mike. I do feel like they got some tough games ahead of them.
Yeah.
But, you know, I was constantly looking for the one game that kind of, like the linchpin, the one that made me, you know, look one way or the other, whether this is a really, really good football team or has this been a lucky team. And, man, I felt like this was it. Going to Death Valley at night, getting the win, not only getting the win, but just beating the brakes off them LSU Tigers in the second half, the fans leaving and everything.
Yeah.
You just don't see that often. So, yeah, I feel like we got a really good football team here in College Station.
Well, no doubt. I mean, I picked them to win, right?
Yeah.
I didn't think they'd win by 25 points, but I'm confused why people even thought this would be a ball game because of old LSU.
Yeah.
I mean, now they've lost 3 out of 4. They're about to fire their coach. Hell, I'm trying to monitor as we talk here. It could be any minute here. I don't think it will be, but it could be. Shout out Matt Zinich, breaking news here, Shane. The process is ongoing. No final determination has been made, but it's currently trending toward LSU and Brian Kelly parting ways.
Oh.
He just sent that out. So apparently there was a meeting that Kelly had with Scott Woodward, the AD, today, and it did not go well, whatever that means. So maybe they told him he needed to make staff changes, and he said, "To hell with you." I don't know. I don't know what was said there, but
could be money. They talk about reduced buyouts and things like that.
Right. And I'd say, again, even if I coached a shitty football team, I'd say, well, I got a fully guaranteed contract, so you can stick that buyout up your, so maybe that's what he said. I don't know. I'm just speculating. But where do we go from here? In the fact that, hell, I don't even think this is A&M's best win. I really don't. Now, the manner of it, doing it on the road, doing it, so much. That was the only talking point, Shane. Was the only talking point LSU had to cling to was we don't lose to this team at home.
Yeah.
This wasn't 22 LSU or 2019 LSU. This is 2025 LSU. And for months, or not months, but about a month, I've said this is a top 10 SEC team.
Yeah.
And their fans have been jumping on my ass saying, well, that's funny because we're AP top 10. Well, it's a good thing I don't go by that, Shane. I just go off, I watch the games, and I just give my opinion, which I'm not always right or anything, but at no point have I watched this LSU this year and thought, well, this is a hell of a team here. And I think that's why they're going to fire their coach, because they got all this money invested. They got, they've spared no expense on the coordinators and assistants and NIL, and they look like they're getting worse to me.
Yeah. Yeah, and it starts from the top down, I mean, this is all Brian Kelly. And you, like you said, you talked about the coordinators. For me, I always felt like LSU just went out and got what everybody thought was the best. Oh, this guy's the best offensive coordinator. We got to throw money at him. Let's get him. Oh, this guy's the best defensive guy. Great with defensive linemen. Let's go steal him. Let's go pay for this guy. Instead of bringing in dudes, just like your team, you can't just go out here and look at the transfer portal and say, hey, this guy is number one in the transfer portal. I think he'll fit. What if he doesn't? What if he doesn't fit in that locker room? What if he doesn't fit in the culture you created down there? And I feel like that's the same with coordinators. Instead of just going out here and getting the guy, go out here and get a guy that is is the left hand of what you want to do on offense, is the right hand of what you expect on defense to play complementary football. And I just feel like Brian Kelly didn't do that. He just went out with a blank checkbook and said, hey, I can get whoever I want, and didn't do his due diligence to bring the right people in.
Hey, shout out to early leader, Shane, for comment of the night. Cousin Derek Cole. Mike, you can't put a price on family. And someone in the comments says, hey, have LSU fans ever cleared out of here a night game LSU? Hell yeah. Just last year, Alabama just absolutely steamrolled their ass. I think it was 41-14, 41-10 or something like that. So this is twice now under Brian Kelly. Remember, it was literally 5-6 weeks ago. He said, y'all are spoiled. This team is 17-1 at night. Well, they're not 17-1 at night anymore. You know what?
No, they are not. And it's tough for them Tigers, right? They're used to that. And when you get used to winning all the time, it is a tough act to follow. So let me ask you, rumors are floating around. Brian Kelly's going to get fired. So, there's a lot of jobs opening up this season, but out of all the opening spots, and let's just throw LSU in there, where would you put them on the hierarchy of most coveted positions in the country?
Number one.
Yeah.
I think by far.
Yeah.
I think it's a better job than Florida. And I think if they offered it to Lane Kiffin, I don't think he'd hesitate. I think he'd take it.
Do you think there's other coaches other than Lane Kiffin that would be maybe it would surprise you that they'd be interested in an LSU job?
Oh yeah, certainly. I could just bullshit you and just throw names out there, but hell, who in the hell thought Brian Kelly would be the next LSU coach? He was entrenched at Notre Dame. He was doing a good job. I don't know what he was getting paid, but I would imagine it wasn't cheap up there at Notre Dame for all his accomplishments. So yeah, I think this job would attract literally every candidate that's out there. And Shane, I'm just throwing this out. This is going to happen.
Yeah.
But who's a coach, Shane? and you've made note of this many times, said the biggest regret of his life was leaving this place.
Nick Saban.
Nick Saban, come on down.
It sounds crazy, right? But you remember, I don't know if you saw the comments about keeping Jimmy Sexton away from Miss Terry, but I mean, just saying. It'd be nice to. What if he comes back for like two, like he says, "Hey, I'm doing 3 years." Hell, he could come back and say, "I'm doing 1 season," and you better believe that portal would be wide open.
I mean, how funny would that be? You know what?
Oh, that would be icing on the cake of this 2025 season so far, man. Just absolutely chaos. It feels like we're part of one of them. You ever hear them people that talk about simulations? And like there's somebody that's in control, it feels like we're in a simulation here and they're like, you know what, let's spice this thing up, let's throw Nick Saban back in there.
All right, hey, we got to move on, Shane, to all these other games. Shout out Ole Miss going on the road, Shane. Speaking of Lane Kiffin had beaten Oklahoma 34-26, gives Ole Miss a hell of a inside to the college football playoff, but we can get to that later. This game, man, this was a hell of a game, Shane.
Yeah,
it was rainy, it was nasty, and I think that affected things to a degree. There was a lot of slipping, a lot of sliding out there. Both teams opened it up with field goal drives to kind of feel each other out. Keywan Lacey had a 28-yard touchdown run. That was the first touchdown of the day. And then Oklahoma answers right back. John Mateer to Isaiah Satania on a 76-yard touchdown catch and run. Ole Miss they got a safety on Oklahoma. I don't know what in the hell they were thinking, Shane, running east to west in the end zone. How about we run a little north and south when we are literally in the end zone? That would be my suggestion to you, Ben Arbuckle. Lane Kiffin, and then for some damn reason, Shane threw in Austin Simmons on the goal line.
Yeah.
I guess they said something like, "Well, Chambliss, he keeps getting his passes tipped. Okay, let's throw in a quarterback hadn't played in weeks, and he'll just airmail wide open touchdowns." That was asinine. And then Kiffin also went for it, 4th and 1 from his own 25. They failed to get it. But shout out to this Ole Miss defense, this defense that got crushed last week at Georgia. They held Oklahoma to a field goal. That was huge. Xavier Robinson, man, what a day he had for Oklahoma. 65-yard touchdown. That really re-energized the crowd, got OU back into it. And then Robinson had another touchdown, which gave Oklahoma the lead at the very end of the third quarter. But there was a huge 4th and 1 right after that Ole Miss converted. And they scored there. They had to punt the ball, though, back to Oklahoma, and Satania fumbled right at midfield, Shane, with 7 minutes left. And Ole Miss threw a bomb right after that to set up a field goal, and that was pretty much all she wrote. But it was back and forth, and then old Lane Kiffin was trash talking. Old David Stone, nationally televised, got caught doing that. It was pretty wild, but Kiffin's gonna Kiffin, I guess. But this was a hell of a game, and I just think the better team won. I don't think there was like a massive separation. I really think John Mateer, he's just not playing good ball right now. He's not seeing the field. Meanwhile, Trinidad Chambliss, I think this was probably his best game.
Yeah,
it's just little things like that, Shane, was the difference. I'm just kind of blown away how many Oklahoma fans I've seen, Shane. They're like, how soon can we get Brent Venables' ass out the door? Because we lost to a really good team at home by a score. I just think this is SEC ball. It's who makes plays on Saturday, and Ole Miss made a couple more than Oklahoma, but these are two really good teams, I think.
Yeah, and I'll say this. I feel like, I don't do power rankings, but I'd have Ole Miss right there in that second spot. That's just how good they're playing right now. They just find ways to win. And say what you want. This was a team that was down in the fourth quarter, right? On the road. And I feel like the defense should get a little more love here because of what they did last week against Georgia, kind of giving up that two-score lead, They didn't do that again. And that's what Kiffin kind of was just talking about, them doubling down and the preparation that went into this game. I feel like that was the main thing for me. It felt like Ole Miss was prepared, and at times Oklahoma wasn't. In fact, I was scratching my head. As much as we like to kiss our Arbuckle's ass at the start of the season, I was like, wait, maybe we should discuss this Uber Eats one more time. You know, there was some questionable play calling here, but it needs to be out there, right? This was. I feel like I don't want to be like Hugh Freeze here, but if you played this game 10 more times, I don't know, man. I feel like on a neutral site, this thing could be 5-5 at the end. You know, that this is two really good football teams going at it. And you're right. I feel like if you're an Oklahoma fan, you had opportunities and you missed them. You know, we can sit there and say whatever, but Satania fumbling, that was a dagger in the heart, but more importantly, a dagger to the fans there because it felt like it just took it right out of the crowd noise. So, really good football game, and unfortunately or fortunately, however way you look in this, I feel like Ole Miss, Trinidad. You were talking about Heisman, man. Trinidad's a guy that needs to be talked about a little bit more. Statistically, didn't look great, but man, that was a dude that won the football game.
Yeah, he finished with 315 passing yards, 53 rushing. Remember, that was what Venables said leading up to this one. He runs for about 50 a game, just enough to piss you off. And I'm sure Venables pissed off by that. But you know, fourth downs, Ole Miss was 2 of 3. Oklahoma was 1 of 3.
Yeah.
So again, very simple statistic there, but that was critical to the end here. And you shouted out these defenses. Even Oklahoma, I know they gave up some points. 14 tackles for loss for Oklahoma, 1 sack, 1 fumble, and shout out Ole Miss, 6 tackles for loss, 3 sacks. So defense stepped up for each of these teams when they had to, and now Ole Miss 7-1. Again, I hate to call them a lock for the playoff because I did that last year and they fell short, but they sure as hell look like a lock with South Carolina at home, Citadel at home, Florida at home, which has already got an interim coach, and at Mississippi State. Hell, they could go 3-1, and they're almost likely going to make the playoffs. So, are you calling Ole Miss a playoff lock?
Oh yeah, no, this is a playoff lock, SEC championship lock, Mike. Ole Miss has never been. It's funny, we had this conversation last year about
that is. I think that's a little too far.
No, I don't see them losing the game, Mike.
I mean, but they could not lose a game, and they're. Texas A&M's ahead of them in the standings. Alabama's ahead of them in the standings. Georgia's ahead of them in the standings, and Georgia beat them. So a lock for the SEC. They're going to need help.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's good. You know what? I'm not right all the time.
Kiffin says they don't even want to go.
Maybe he gave up that Georgia lead, you know, on purpose. That's smart. He's
playing 4D, you know?
Yeah. I'm telling you, you watch these games, right? And there's always that. It always feels like there's a team chasing the other team, right? And I felt like in this game, Oklahoma needed all the breaks to get the win, and they didn't. So yeah, at the end of the day, they should. We're not talking about Ole Miss like we're talking about A&M. We're not talking about Ole Miss like we're talking maybe Georgia and Bama. But by God, at the end of this month, November being, I guarantee you we'll all be talking about them because nobody wants to play them.
Now, what about Oklahoma? Where are we at? 6-2 overall in the conference. Fall to 2-2. Still, I mean, they could make the playoff. It's very unlikely, I think, because I think they have to win out at Tennessee next week, at Bama, Missouri at home, LSU at home. But where are we at? I mean, I guess, you know, we all overreact to one game and all that. But are you surprised so many fans are like, well, hell, who's the next coach? You know.
No, I mean, that's where we're at, especially when everyone else is getting a new coach. So I'm kind of there. But the main thing is I would imagine if I'm a Sooner fan, I'm just very, very frustrated with how this season has gone, right? We start out 5-0, you know, everything's going great, then John Mateer hurts his hand, right? We make excuses for the Red River, but then, you know, we're now at this Ole Miss game. We thought it should be back by now. We should have a little bit of that stardust we had earlier in the season, and we don't. And now we're going on the road to Tennessee. We're going on the road to Alabama. Yeah, I feel it, but just because I think Sooner fans see what's down the road here. This isn't about the Ole Miss loss, Mike. This is about what potentially could be lost here in the next 3 to 4 weeks.
Yeah, and I don't know. I think not that 8-4 is acceptable.
Yeah,
but or especially if they go 9-3 with this schedule, and the John Mateer injury,
Yeah.
I think this is a hell of a year. I mean, am I crazy?
No, but you were down there. You were down there and looking at all them Heisman trophies and national championship trophies. It's going to take a little while, Mike, to get adjusted to the Southeastern Conference. You know what I'm saying? Hell, especially this year. I mean, we're going to get to Vanderbilt here in a minute. We're going to get to some South Carolina almost beat this. We were having that conversation 3 years ago. So yeah, this conference is it's closer than it's ever been, and Oklahoma fans are just one of many that are going to have to adjust to it.
Mm-hmm.
Hell, I'm adjusted to it. You know what I'm saying?
But I mean, let's say LSU has an interim coach, which we assume they would be.
Yeah.
And then, we'll get to Missouri here in just a second. Their quarterback's hurt. I don't know. I'm looking at it like I just don't think this is doom and gloom. I think season's clearly on the line this weekend at Tennessee. But, if they can win at Tennessee, I think we're still cooking here at Oklahoma.
Yeah, and I'll tell you this right now, Mike. Oklahoma pairs well with Tennessee, and we'll get to them here in a minute. We'll get to you. They're going to give Arbuckle a raise after this game. Let me go ahead and let you know. John Mateer will be all the way back when they play them Tennessee Vols. It's going to be more about the defense. Can they slow down Tennessee?
They're going to be concerned if they're going to lose Mateer to the NFL after they play Tennessee.
Trust me, there is a chance. And I, say what you want, Mike. Tennessee's what's AP now? 12, 13, somewhere around there?
Around there, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, could you imagine this would be the biggest game for Venables to go on the road, beat Tennessee Vols, and do it in a fashion that will make you excited about their offense yet again.
Yep. All right. Well, speaking of offense, we didn't get much of it in this one. Oh, wait, real quick. This one, real quick.
Yeah.
So this is wild to me. This applies to all the teams, right?
Yeah.
So I know this is complicated. I know you're not a fan of math. Not a lot of math in here, Shane. But basically, all you need to know, left to right. If you're all the way on the left, you suck at offense. Mm-hmm. If you're all the way on the right, you're really good on offense. So you can see in the bottom there, we got Arkansas. Now, top to bottom, if you're at the very bottom, you suck at defense.
Okay.
If you're all the way at the top, you are awesome at defense.
Ooh.
And this just blows my mind because Oklahoma, at least by this is opponent adjusted success rate. Oklahoma is like far and away the best defense in the country.
Yeah.
But they're just average ass offense, where you ideally want to be is the top right. So in the top right, we got in the SEC, we got A&M is number one. Georgia's right there. Bama's there. Ole Miss. Even Missouri and Auburn are in the quadrant. But I just think it's hilarious how elite, by the numbers, Oklahoma's defense is. And again, their offense isn't horrible, but it literally is the definition of average. And that's what we're getting on the field here.
Yeah, no, that's pretty crazy. Can you do Oklahoma's schedule again? I'm just looking. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, and they play some good teams, you're right. But offensively, have they? Ole Miss was their toughest test, and they lost it. So, yeah, maybe we should fire him.
All right. Speaking of offense, this is the one where we just didn't really get any shade, but this was a classic defensive struggle, if you want to call it that.
Yeah.
Vanderbilt defeats Missouri 17-10. How about this stat, Shade? Each team ran exactly 13 plays in the first quarter.
Yeah.
Vandy had 56 yards. Mizzou had 32 at the end of the first quarter. The first points of the game didn't come till 5:11 remaining in the first half. It was 3-3 at halftime. It was a pitcher's duel, I guess you could call it. Diego Pavia intercepted right to open the second half, and Missouri marched down all the way down to the 1, but they went for it on 4th and goal and came up just short. And unfortunately, Bo Perbula got hurt on the play. And shout out to Matt Zinich. I wanted to share this. So he had an update, positive update here, Shane. Update on Bo Perbula. This comes from about just 3 o'clock Central Time Sunday. Further testing revealed Perbula had a bad sprain and ligament damage, but no surgery. So that's great news. Mm-hmm. Outside shot, he could return this regular season. So I just wanted to give that that note to all the Missouri fans out there. Thoughts and prayers to Bo as he recovers. And so in came Matt Zollers, the true freshman.
Yeah.
And hell, Shade, I thought he looked pretty damn good for a true freshman on the road against a top 10 opponent. And again, they got stopped short on 4th and goal. They missed a field goal right after that. And then Vanderbilt, MK Young busted loose on an 80-yard touchdown to give Vanderbilt a 10-3 lead. And then Zollers leads Missouri down the field. They score on 4th and goal. Really nice pass to James, I believe a freshman tight end. And then Vanderbilt defender C.J. Hurd comes up huge, forces a fumble and recovers it himself. Diego Pavia scores on a 1-yard touchdown run to give Vanderbilt a 17-10 lead. And then Zollers gets one more opportunity, and he throws a Hail Mary that was actually completed, Shane. Oh, gut-wrenching. About literally maybe 10 inches in front of the goal line. So down inside the one as time expires. So what a damn game this was, Shane. I know that statistically it wasn't pretty, but a wild-ass game. Vanderbilt 7-1. Now they're in the top 10, not just 10, but I think they're number 9 in the poll. And Missouri, man, heartbreaker. Could have had it, devastating here. And really, I think Missouri, this is going to be painful. I'm not meant for it to be painful, Shane, but I think Missouri outplayed Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
170 rushing yards for Missouri, 136 for Vandy. Time of possession, Missouri 36 minutes, Vanderbilt 23. It was just a damn red zone, Shane. That's why I talk about it all the time. Missouri 1 of 3 in the red zone for 7 points. Vandy 2 of 2 for 10. And Missouri was 4 of 5 on 4th down, but the one they didn't get was on that goal line where unfortunately Bo Prabula got hurt, and that was the difference in the ballgame.
I'll tell you. They really should look. I'm sure there's going to be something that comes out, but that Bo tackle, the one that dislocated his ankle, was very, very suspicious in my opinion. And I don't know if they've said anything, but I just felt like it was dirty. And I will say this. I feel like Mizzou came in with a great plan defensively. I mean, they really held, other than that one big run, they held Vanderbilt in check. And I never felt like Vanderbilt could get their game going. And Mizzou had the opportunities. You get stuffed on the goal line, you miss a field goal within 20 yards, Yeah. I mean, these are mistakes that you just cannot afford to have against a top 10 football team on the road, and that's exactly what happened. But, the Matt Zollers thing, I don't know, Mike. I can't say you should lose your job to injury, but there's a part of me that says that was the better quarterback that day. And it makes me wonder, if he could continue to get these 1 reps, maybe, just maybe, Mizzou can get 2-dimensional, which they haven't been since early this season. And if they can, by God, I think you run with it. So there may be a little blessing in disguise here. It's not easy to lose one on the road, but shout out to Vanderbilt finding a way to win. Vanderbilt, they went from shitty to gritty, didn't they? From crappy to scrappy. That's Vanderbilt Commodores right now. And they keep finding ways to win, and it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it's the scoreboard. Who has more points, who has less points, and Vanderbilt keeps finding a way to have the most. So, this is a shout-out to that was a team effort. And they went in there like a backyard brawl, and they got themselves a win.
Right. And next week, we'll talk about it, all week, obviously. You're going down to Texas. So there's going to be a lot of hype, and all of a sudden, that's a big game. SEC Nation's going to be down there. So, a lot to be said for Vanderbilt and the march they've made up to this point. But how about Missouri real quick, Shane? So, again, you referenced here, we're going Zollers now. Who knows, for the rest of the season, perhaps. Again, positive update from Zenich that Bo Prabula could return. But we got 2 weeks now, and that's a silver lining, I guess, is you got now A&M's got 2 weeks as well, but 2 weeks to prepare. You're getting them at home. You got 2 home games in a row to get some momentum. And if Missouri could be the first team to knock off A&M, then I think the belief is right back in that if you're good enough to beat A&M, you're good enough to beat any of these teams. And at 10-2, you're making the college football playoff. So that is still in front of them.
Yeah, and I feel like that's, Drink comes out after the game and kind of talks about this, like the true 1-0 mentality week to week. This is what we got to have. And I don't feel like anybody outside of Columbia, Missouri thinks that Mizzou should be a college football playoff team, right? But if you can punch A&M in the mouth, punch your ticket, if you will, to get that conversation started. So, yeah, this is going to be the most important this whole week of preparation will be the most important that Drink has had since he's been up there.
Mm-hmm. Well, and maybe, let's say you're wanting to go to that one, Shane.
Yeah.
You know what you should do?
I just need a ticket. Where can I find a ticket, Mike?
SeatGeek! Oh, yeah. Check them out. Go on over to SeatGeek.com or download the SeatGeek app on your phone. Make it easier on yourself, Shane. Get you 10% off your full order over at SeatGeek with promo code SEC10. And the great thing about SeatGeek, Shane, not only do they obviously have the football tickets, but basketball's getting going, college basketball, NBA, NFL, of course, and even events outside of sports. Maybe you got to take the missus. Maybe it's her birthday or something. Maybe you want to get her a Christmas present. Just saying. Get her some tickets over at SeatGeek. You don't even have to tell her that you saved 10% off your full order with that promo code SEC10 over at SeatGeek. So help the show. Head on over to SeatGeek.com and use that promo code SEC10. We're really just trying to help yourself out here by getting 10% off your full over at SeatGeek. You know what?
Yeah, it's not for us. It's for you guys. We're not getting 10% off. You are.
Well, you know who should be getting 10% off, Shane?
Who's that?
Gamecock fans. What the hell was that? 10% off a win here because you had this one and you let it slip right through your damn fingers. Shout out Alabama for finding a way on the road. 29, South Carolina 22. Carolina opened a game with a field goal drive. I mean, that's exactly what you got to do, Shane. You got to score first. You got to keep your crowd in it. And then they held Bama to back-to-back 3-and-outs, and you're thinking, oh, buddy, we might have something here. And then guess what happened? Damn pick six. Thanks to shout out Rasul Faison, who, again, he had a good game. But, man, bobbled a pass. And then Alabama picks it up, and they score the first touchdown of the game. Carolina misses a field goal, and you're like, oh, God, here's old Carolina. Here's where they come apart. But they didn't, Shane. They kept fighting and battling their ass off all day. Strip sack of Ty Simpson. That's the third consecutive game. Ty Simpson's lost a fumble. Carolina converted a 4th and 12. They did score a touchdown, but damn it, Shane, damn it. There was a holding. Bringing it back. Had to kick a field goal there. Bama scored a touchdown right before half, and you're thinking, oh, okay, well, there you go. Bama's found their stride. It's 14-6. They're just going to dominate their ass. No, sir. Carolina came out, 54-yard touchdown. Nick Harbor Sellers hit Nick Harbor for 54 yards, and then Carolina hit another field goal, and Bama fumbled on a punt return. Carolina got on that, and then they scored another touchdown. You're thinking, oh, my God. It's October. It's finally going to happen, Shay. This is where Baber saves his job. We're up 22-14. We're dominating this game. Alabama had 3-and-outs in a row. Shane, this can't happen, can it? No, it can't, because Alabama got hot, and then they stripped Sellers there at the end and scored with a couple seconds left. And, man, at this point, I just feel bad for the Gamecocks. You know what?
I feel bad for the fans. Really, they were scooting down there, getting ready to storm the field, and what a sad walk to the car. It's just I've been there. I've been at those games. We talk about the Tennessee Ole Miss game a few years back with the mustard bottles. Like, we were a part of that, and we thought, hey, there is a shot we're about to pull off an upset here, and I felt like South Carolina fans especially needed that, right? For all the shit they've watched this season, have one good thing happen to them. That's what I thought was going to happen. Beamer was thinking about his celebration. The media team was setting up cameras in the locker room, and they didn't get to do it because damn Kalen's got that black hoodie on again. Damn,
that's worse than Parrot Cam.
I know. And I feel like, hey, at the end of the day, this is, again, not taking away from what South Carolina had a shot. They had plenty of shots in this game to keep this one away from Bama. In fact, even that final drive, I really thought, hey, this is what's going to happen. Nope, they can't stop Lenore Sellers. He's going to get down there. They're going to kick a field goal, and they're going to win a damn football game. That's really what I thought happened. That fumble, I mean, I didn't even catch it when it happened in the moment. I was like, oh, shit, they gave it away. And then as soon as they found out Bama had it, I was like, it's over because you weren't going to stop them. But this is what teams do, right? You look at some of the and I'm not saying they're going to win the championship, right? But you look at some of these championship teams, little lady luck has got to be on your side. And I feel like, Bama got a little dose of that this weekend.
Yeah, and this is what I was worried about. I never really thought Alabama would lose the game, Shane, but playing 5 SEC teams in 5 weeks was going to take its toll. Hell, I even thought it did against Tennessee.
Yeah.
We all know what happened there with the pick six and everything, but I thought, I thought Alabama was looking a little tired there. So going on the road, I thought this would happen. This is the South Carolina I thought we were getting, Shane.
Right.
Tough, chippy, and again, maybe not all these mistakes, but this is kind of the closest that we have seen Carolina look like Carolina from last year, if you ask me. They were running the ball. They rushed for 111 yards on mighty Alabama and held Alabama to 72 rushing. Yeah. So, these are winning statistics, but it was just Jekyll and Hyde for Bama, Shane. They had 11 yards in the first quarter. They had 162 in the second. Then they had 35 yards in the third quarter. Then they had 117 in the fourth. I don't know. I think this is kind of a one-off for Bama. Maybe I'm just making excuses, but man, just a wild game. Does this do anything in your mind, Shane, that Bama was looking red hot, and now you're like, I don't know. Can this team win it all?
Yeah, no, I don't. I mean, this was a tough win, right? On the road, William Bryce. I feel like you got the best of South Carolina this week, and honestly, like you said, I think the injuries were starting to pile up. Some guys didn't even suit up for this thing. Yeah. I feel like you got yourselves a buyback. But if anything, Mike, Bama's sitting there with the mulligan in their pocket, and at the end of the day, they almost had to use it. And I feel like that would have been the story, right? Yeah. But now you got LSU, you got Auburn, you got who's the other one? Oklahoma. Mm-hmm. So there's still some really, really good football games ahead of you, but I feel pretty confident Bama's going to be dancing at the end.
Is Carolina win another game that's not Coastal? Like, can they keep getting up off the mat here?
I don't know. I think there's a lot more give up in the fans than there is in that locker room, if that makes sense.
Right. And the remaining schedule at Ole Miss, difficult, obviously. Yeah. Bye week at A&M, Coastal, and then Clemson. So just they better get to 5 is all.
Yeah. It's just I mean, I would love to have a bowl game, right? I mean, it could happen, but it would take a lot. It would take a lot. And like
Big
I
upset.
said, yeah, it's just how much buy-in they have in that locker room. Because if there's any give up, like I'm having right now, then no, my friends, they're not going bowling.
You need Sellers to be a superhero like he kind of was here in this one. You know what?
Yeah, just
and it still wasn't enough.
Just have some fun. The defense, I will say, the defense looked better than I've seen in all season. They looked feisty. They looked like they were applying pressure. I love it just felt like that exotic defense that we saw last year. It's almost like they were back from the dead, but the offense just didn't have enough gas in the tank.
Yeah, well, defense was optional in this one, Shane. Shout out Mighty Texas going on the road and beating State 45-38 in overtime. What a damn game, Shane. Mississippi State had multiple 17-point leads in the fourth quarter, but Texas scored 24 unanswered to close it out, and that's how they won. And, buddy, I texted you. I don't know if you remember this, but Texas opened the game, easy touchdown drive, and I said, boy, that Mississippi State upset picks. What a genius move that was by me. Then Texas blocked a Mississippi State field goal, and I'm like, oh, night. They're going to just whoop the shit out of this team. But credit Mississippi State. They didn't give up. And man, Mississippi State, after a very slow start, they scored 24 unanswered to jump on Texas 31-14. Texas scored, and then Mississippi State scored right back with a 62-yard strike. You're thinking, oh, There goes all the momentum that Texas had. No, sir. And I don't know what it's going to take, Shane, for these idiot coaches that should be fired, like Jeff Lebby and Mark Stoops. But at some point, we got to learn to stop kicking the fucking football to Ryan Niblett when that's like literally the only shot Texas got to win in a football game. And that's what he did. He scored a touchdown with less than 2 minutes left to tie it at 38 and force overtime. And in overtime, Texas was dominant. Unfortunately, Arch Manning knocked out of the game.
Yeah.
He reportedly suffered a concussion, so that's going to be a situation to monitor all week as they host Vanderbilt. But the backup, Matthew Caldwell, came in, looked pretty good, threw a touchdown to Parker Livingstone, and then what State do in overtime, Shane? They went like negative 40 yards to shit the bed here. And, man, Texas survived. ESPN Analytics, for whatever the hell that's worth, gave them like a 1% chance of winning at one point in the ball game, yet they won it. And this all comes, I didn't even mention, I'm sure everybody's seen it by now, but all the speculation of Sark wanting to go to the NFL, which he has come out and said that's complete fabricated and bullshit and all this, but it was a weird day, I would imagine, for Texas fans. You know what?
And I hope the soul that wrote that thing comes. Yeah, but he never really denied it in that argument either. So take that for what it's worth. And I will say this: if I'm Arch Manning, I'll be like, hell, I ain't coming back unless you get me some offensive line, because he was running for his life. Hell, he about lost it there a few times. So this is a really, really good football game for those Longhorn fans. I feel bad for State, man. I mean, because you think about it, you got the Florida game, you had the Tennessee game, now this one. It's not just winning an SEC game. I mean, this one would have been even more. I think it would have been more significant, similar to that Arkansas Texas game a few years back. It's just something you talk about for a few years, but. Yeah, you squandered it. You missed it. You don't, like you said, you don't kick it to Niblett. You don't lose a game when you're up 17, with that much time left in the clock, especially against a Texas football team that's had a tough time moving the football. Here's an idea. Let's guard Wingo, So I'm not saying the recipe is too tough, but they definitely made it complicated. And unfortunately for State fans, they didn't get to see a win here.
Yeah. And hey, shout out Arch Manning, who he took a lot of hits in this one.
Yeah.
He's tough as hell, Shane. Again, I know he's caught a lot of hell, but he had 347 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, did have a pick. Blake Shapen finished with 381 yards and 4 touchdowns. But Texas 6-2, 3-1 in the conference, Shane. Yeah. Everything's still in front of them. And hell, I thought they'd beat Kentucky. I thought they'd beat Mississippi State a couple weeks ago. Remember, after they beat Oklahoma, I said, boy, they're going to get on a run. And they are like limping to this run, but they're still alive, Yeah. Everything's in front of them. They could win the championship, SEC. They could win the national championship. I think that's a huge stretch at this point in time. But everything's still in front of them. What do you make of Texas? I mean, do you credit them for like finding ways to win, or you're like, God, they're like one play away from getting exposed?
I tell you, pull that back up one more time. You were talking about all the great things. Texas could lose every single game that's left on their schedule. I'm being confident. I'm telling the truth. I think Vanderbilt can beat you. I know Georgia can beat you. Hell, I feel like Arkansas can at least outscore you. And then A&M, we just talked about how great they are. Yeah, there's a real shot that Texas could win out. But there's also a bigger shot that they could lose out. So I don't think if you're a Texas fan, you're extremely happy with this win. I'm sure you rejoiced a little bit for the comeback, and you saw some little moments of Arch playing the football you desired that he played this entire season. But at the end of the day, it's a tough road, man. It is a tough road, and I'm just not confident that Texas is going to be able to get there.
Right. But they could.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, what if we get here and you told me, hey, after November 28th, they won out and now they're going to the playoffs? Would my mind be blown with the way football has been presented to me so far this season? Absolutely not, Mike.
And again, they would have to be 3. Who knows where? Well, we know where Vanderbilt will be, but we don't know where Georgia and A&M will be.
Yeah.
But as of today, these are 3 top 10 teams, with A&M in the top 5, Vanderbilt at 9, and Georgia I think's at like 8 or something like that. So hell, if they do it, they have earned it. I mean,
yeah. Could you imagine? What if this is like all the teams we're talking about, all the storylines, just little old Texas sitting down there finding a way to win, and then all of a sudden they're hoisting the trophy at the end of the year.
And it's the complete opposite for State. You talked about how bad you felt for them.
Yeah.
Are they going to get this damn SEC win or not, Shane? Because this is like 3 they should have probably. They got at Arkansas, Georgia at home, at Missouri, and Ole Miss, Egg Bowl at home. Are you liking that they're fighting, or is it just like, God, they're about to?
I like the fight, Mike. And you got two games, Arkansas, Mizzou at home. Those are going to be the ones that I would have circled, especially with them cowbells.
Wait, no, you flip that. Those are the road games.
Oh shit. Oh no, never mind then. Sorry, my bad. Yeah, go ahead. Hang those bells up. No, I'm joking. I'm saying crazy things have happened, right? Absolute crazy things have happened, but I feel like you kind of missed your shot.
What if they lost all these damn games, Shane?
Yeah.
And then the ones they win are like Georgia at home and Ole Miss, like top 5 teams.
Well, that's fair. But I said, I didn't think that they'd lose to Texas. I didn't think that they'd lose or win to Texas. I didn't think they'd beat Tennessee or Florida. It's just, but they did. And I feel like that's just kind of the football team they are right now. They've got some really good players. They've got some. Damn, they got some fans. I will say that place has been electric every loss that they have, but they're still going to have a couple more opportunities to get one, and who knows? It may even be the Egg Bowl this year.
Hey, all right. Here's right now leading contender comment of the night, Shane, from MV Longhorn. Texas is on a run, but we run like cousin Shane.
You get me around Yellow Jackets, you'd be surprised.
We'll talk about a run, Shane. How about them Vols? They're still scored on Kentucky. Beat them 56-34. Here's about the wildest stat of the night in my mind, Shane. Tennessee ran 59 plays.
Yeah.
They scored 56 points. I mean, that's almost inconceivable. They either went 70 yards and scored a touchdown, or they went 3 and out. That was basically every Tennessee drive, and they did it quickly. But on the flip side, Kentucky, shout out Cutter Boley, the freshman. Mm-hmm. He looked like the real deal. 330 passing yards, 5 touchdowns. He's shattered like every Kentucky passing record against Tennessee's defense. Shane, he did have a pick 6 shutout. Andrees Farouk, hell of a play, tipped it to himself, returned it for pick 6. Joey Aguilar, 20 of 26, 396 yards, 3 touchdowns. This one was fun if you like offense. It was horrible if you like defense. Tennessee averaged 19.8 yards per pass completion. Kentucky averaged 12.7 yards per completion. And normally that 12.7 is good enough to win you the ball game. But this one was really never in doubt, as Tennessee just literally almost couldn't be stopped all night.
Buddy, I tell you what was the score again? 56
34.
If I told you your team, and this applies to all SEC teams, Mike. If I told you your team scored 56 points and I didn't tell you what the opponent had, I'd say, how confident are you that you won the game, right? Mm-hmm. And I said, other than Arkansas, because they're kind of in the same boat we are, I'd say probably around 60%. That's how confident. Everybody else would be 99, but I'd be at 60 because their defense is just that bad, Mike. I feel like there was so much give up. Some of these guys, and I'm not gonna call you out or anything, but I'm telling you what, that film, if I could see it, by God, you slow it down and watch it in film study, there better be some kids benched next week, because I've never seen so much give up in my life. But there's no give up on this offense. Joey Aguilar and those 3 guys, the 3 best, the only receivers. It's like 4 guys out there playing football sometimes. Tennessee finds a way, and they're almost unstoppable at times. So what a big win to go on the road and prepare for another wild week up ahead with Oklahoma.
Yeah, but it's just wild. Is there any team, Shane, that is or fan base that is more upset after a win this week than Tennessee fans?
Possibly Texas.
Okay,
but I would say
I think they're pretty happy they just survived the road.
Yeah,
You know?
Tennessee fans are upset, right? Which
Yeah.
is crazy. But
Because
I
they're
don't
sitting
think.
here 6-2. It's not horrible.
Yeah.
It just, I don't know. It feels like it feels disappointing right now to me.
Well, we sit here and we want to fire offensive coordinators, but we're not talking about defensive coordinators, and that's a name that keeps popping up on my feed. I don't know about yours, but what they call him, Sleepy Tim. They want to get him out of here, so I don't know.
And do you think this is the last time we saw? That was the main thing I saw from the game last night was Tennessee fans just like begging and pleading for Kentucky to just hold on to Mark Stoops, give him more time. You think it's the last time old Stoops saw Tennessee?
It's crazy. There was a wild stat. I think you sent this to me. That Tennessee has more wins at home, or more wins in Lexington than Kentucky has at home since 2021 against SEC opponents. Mm-hmm. I think that's some wonky stat like that. But you think about it, after what was it, 2 years ago, Florida, they had that win. I don't think Stoops has won an SEC game, if I'm not mistaken.
Not at home. He hasn't. Multiple seasons.
Yeah. So I mean, eventually, right? I mean, you made your bed. You made this contract. You got to sleep with him. But I feel like if there was a way to get some money together and get this guy out of here, you'd find it soon.
Can we send his ass to LSU?
You just give him a shot, man.
Oh, hey, a little bit more news here, Shane. Breaking news. Oh wait, I'm making sure it's not official yet. But breaking news is we have a team meeting set at LSU for 8 p.m. Central Time.
8 p.m.?
8 p.m. So 9 p.m. your time.
Ooh, doggy.
I don't know. Who knows what that could be, but that's the latest report. So
yeah, I'm looking. I don't see anything yet, but
we're on watch, folks.
I think it's. I mean, usually when there's smoke, there's fire, right?
Right.
It's just Billy was gone in a heartbeat. Like, nah, yeah, go ahead and release a statement. Somebody accidentally hit send, but they must be still working on it there in LSU.
Well, where they're still working on it too, Shane, I think is on the plays. But that's been a stay of execution for old Hugh Freeze because he beat mighty Arkansas 33-24. What a wild game this was, Shane. Arkansas stuffed on 4th and 1 to start, and I said, by God, that's a sign of things to come, and boy, was it ever. Shout out Cam Coleman, catch of the year candidate, Shane, on the first touchdown of the game. It looked like, he had a guy draped all over him, falling down, still made the catch. What a hell of a player Cam Coleman is. Auburn led 10-0 in the second quarter before Raylan Sharp hauled in a 58-yard touchdown from Taylon Green. That kind of got Arkansas going. Jackson Arnold threw a pick six right before halftime. Auburn was about to score too, so that was double painful. And Arkansas was up 21-10 at halftime. Hugh Freeze benched Arnold for Ashton Daniels after that. Arkansas led 24-16 entering the fourth quarter, and then self-destructed, buddy. Taylon Green pick six. That gave Auburn the lead. Omega Blake fumbled. Taylon Green, another interception. Taylon Green, interception to end it. So Arkansas scored 3 points in the second half, obviously none in the fourth, and they had 4 fourth quarter turnovers, and that sealed the fate of them Arkansas Razorbacks. And it seems like even the fans they're over and done with this Bobby Petrino nonsense.
Yeah, I wonder, man. It just feels like Arkansas made some sort of deal with the devil, right?
Yeah.
And like he's collecting in 2025 because there have been. Can you pull up their schedule? Because I mean, say what you want. They had moments to win this game. They had moments to win the A&M game, Tennessee game. Not the Notre Dame, Memphis game, Ole Miss game. It's there. It's so close. I feel like it's almost like I'd rather just get Notre Dame, because then you could just be pissed instead of saying, man, we're so close to having a big win, and we're getting to the end of this thing, Mike. And I'm kind of with you. You can kind of see a little bit of give up here in this. Not so much give up. I shouldn't say that, Mike. I just feel like this team is exactly who we think they are. They're a really good win. You know, if you see them on your schedule, it's going to be a hell of a fight. You'll get a win, but by God, it will be close.
Right. It just, to me, this is another, and similar to Auburn. Although credit Auburn for fighting back, getting down, but it just seems like if one thing goes bad for Arkansas,
yeah,
I don't say they give in, because that's kind of what I sense from Auburn, is that they kind of give in.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, maybe switching quarterbacks, maybe that gave him life, even though Ashton Daniels, it's not like he just didn't make any mistakes.
Right.
But Arkansas, and this may be like making excuses, this may be simplifying too much, but it's like when they make one mistake, they're like, fuck, now we got to really press to make up for that, because our defense ain't going to stop anybody. So if Taylor Green has a turnover, then it's like, well, we got to push it to the limit. We got to go 90 here.
Right.
Because that's the only shot we have. And, man, it snowballed quick on them there.
And I felt like with that last pick on the sideline there, it kind of felt that way, right? Taylor didn't need to throw. That wasn't a fourth down throw or anything like that. I think there was 4 minutes left in the game. You're down 6. You still had an opportunity to win this thing, but because you made those mistakes, like you said, but that's the mentality that offense has, right? Our defense sure as shit ain't gonna bail us out, right? I have to keep the foot on the gas. We have to get some points out here, because if we can't outscore this team, we'll lose to them. So I get that approach. Auburn finding a way to win on the road. You know, Hugh emotional on the sideline. Wasn't it great? Wasn't it great? Give the man an extension. He just needed time. I tried to tell you guys, but even in this loss or this win, I think I lost a little bit of respect for, not respect. I respect the team, but you know, I'm not as confident as I have been during those last 4 losses, you know?
Right. Oh, wow. Really? Yeah. Cause you even picked them to win this game. And now they're almost assuredly locked up to make a bowl game.
Yeah.
They got Kentucky coming up. They're at Vanderbilt, Mercer, and Bama at home. So all they got to do is beat Kentucky, who I think is the worst team in the conference, and Mercer, and they'll make a bowl game. Of course, who knows the way Cutter Boley, maybe if he can keep it going, maybe they'll do something. But, you know, it seems highly confident that they'll make a bowl game. What do you think they will?
Yeah, I think so. I mean,
and is that enough to save Hugh?
Yes. Yeah, they'll keep him. Yeah, because everybody needs a coach. and who wants to go to Auburn, a place that's fired their coaches so many times in the last so many years, you know? I feel like.
So did Auburn really win on Saturday, or did they really lose?
Oh, he just needed time, right? Hey, if he keeps recruiting talent down there, maybe they'll be all right. Obviously there needs to be something happening here. I feel like mainly coordinators. I think Hugh Freeze is breaking in. It's about time he got you down there. But I feel like, you know, getting Hugh away from play calling altogether would be a good thing. So so that's what I see happening in the offseason. Maybe that approach, just get some people around him to make his life a little bit easier, so he could focus on just getting the recruits in there.
Okay.
Just get the bodies in there and let somebody else coach this thing.
So we're just everything he's supposed to be good at. We'll just take that away from him, and we'll be good.
He's a good motivator. The kids like him in the locker room, you know. But I do feel like you know, you watch him. I watched him week 4 last. You know, calling on the sideline. That was him. You know, he was the one that say what you want, lost that Mizzou game. It wasn't the team. It wasn't all the decision. Those decisions went through Hugh Freeze. So, yeah, I'm kind of out on Freeze myself, Mike.
Sam's is coach from the golf course.
That's it. Yeah, you remember he did it from the bed, you know, that one time. So,
all right, let me ask you this, and I'm not trying to be mean. Again, we don't like to call out the players.
Yes,
even though they're millionaires now. But Jackson Arnold. Let's say, which I kind of disagree with you, but let's say Hugh Freeze is back.
Yeah.
Because I still think he could lose to Kentucky, and then I think you got to fire him. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But let's say Hugh Freeze is back.
Yeah.
What are the odds Jackson Arnold is back?
0.
Now, I figured you'd say that. So,
Yeah.
what is the confidence? Because we have been down this road many years now. How confident are you that Hugh Freeze will get a good quarterback or like the right quarterback?
Well, I mean,
Because he's picked all these quarterbacks.
yeah, but I mean, Deuce is down there, you know.
He could be gone too.
Well, I mean, he could be, but we said that about Cam, and he stuck around. So,
He could be gone too. Hell,
Yeah.
would you stay to play in this offense?
if I was convinced that
No,
divine intervention,
But the question is quarterback. Whether it's Deuce
Yeah.
Knight, whether it's some. If they go into a season with Deuce Knight who's not played, and they're like, this is the guy, and he's not good. I mean, there's no shot in hell he's.
dude,
You know what I mean?
I'd throw all my money at Cutter up there in Kentucky. That's who I'd bring his ass down here. Wait, he's playing. He's a hell of a quarterback. Kentucky's got a hell of a quarterback. Just ain't got nothing around him.
Yeah. See, Emily says Deuce is. Well, she said Deuce leave, Cam leave.
Yeah, they're all leaving.
Well, you know who's not leaving? We're not leaving, Shane. We got Week 10 opening lines to get to. All right.
Yes, let's do it.
All right. So, wait. Let's double check here.
Somebody.
We might have breaking. Is this legit? Breaking news here. Yep, it's legit. Sources: Brian Kelly fired at LSU, just like we thought. School is expected to inform the team of this developing tonight. Excuse me. Talks of the terms of the departure are expected to continue. So, reaction, Shane. Brian Kelly out. Lane Kiffin in.
They don't want to hear it. Florida thought they had him. Another one slipped right out. So, no, and I'm not Ole Miss fans. I'm not saying. I'm just saying if you have the money, and that's the question now, because you got $50 million that you're going to have to pony up. What 25 initially, right? Half of it, and then you got to pay the rest of it. Do you have enough to entice a guy like Lane Kiffin to come down there?
You know who's available and would do it for the cheap?
Who?
Who's always wanted the job?
Who?
Billy Napier.
Yeah. See that? That's not happening. So, realistic though, I mean, you could go and get one of these, like John Summerall, right?
Yeah.
Without a doubt, would take the job. Alex Golish, without a doubt, take the job. I
feel like that's where you're way off though, because at LSU, hell, now again, we just did this and it blew up in our face. But LSU, the expectation is to win a national championship.
Yes.
We ain't bringing in John Summerall, who 9 out of 10 people have no clue who the hell that is.
Yeah.
The expectation is by year 2, you are in the playoff and competing for a national champ. And I'm not saying those guys are like bad or anything, and they can't do it. But at LSU, you better win. You better win immediately.
Yeah.
I think they got to go, and they'll get, someone like, well, I mean, not that this guy's like a huge, huge winner. I think it's more about the places he's been. But like a Jeff Brom, someone that is proven they know what the hell they're doing at a high level.
Dabo. Bring him down there.
Ooh, yeah, I mean, something like, I don't know but someone like that, Urban Meyer. God,
jeez,
please don't do that. I'll have a new team to hate in the SEC. So, but yeah, I mean, I think you just got to bring someone in there that, because this job should attract literally just about anybody.
Yes,
and I'm talking Dan Lanning.
Yeah,
I'm talking. I mean, insert the name. Hell, and I don't think they could get. I don't even know if you'd want him at this point in time, but someone like even like a Steve Sarkisian.
Yeah.
If he's sitting here looking at maybe that's why those rumors were out there because he's getting heat. They say in Texas, Shane. I mean, it's like insane with how many people got their hands on their program and they're giving you money. They expect you to pick up the phone when you take your call. And when let's say Texas goes 9-3 here, you think those people are going to be happy with Steve Sarkisian? I bet you he could say, I'm going to take my ball and go home. And guess what? I'm going to take Arch, where's he from, Shane? He's from down the damn street in Louisiana. You know what I mean? So, I mean, things like that, I'm completely speculating, of course, but things like that are on the table, I think, because LSU's that good of a job.
It is. And it's anybody, I think people would take pay cuts to take that job. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So absolutely, I feel like this is a place that has proven that you can win national championships. This is a place that's proven you can win Heisman trophies, and not to mention, I'm not saying it's one of the easier ones, but it's a unique one because a lot of those Louisiana kids grow up wanting to play for LSU, you know, and I feel like whoever you bring in is going to just naturally just be a magnet to that program. So, I mean, golly, I feel like anybody. It could be anybody right now, but you better damn believe the first call I'm making is up there in Oxford, Mississippi. And I'm not saying it. I mean, hell, his daughter's already down there. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, just connected the dots here, you know?
She's been scouting out places for a while now. So, has Lane tweeted? Let me see.
Let's play a little game here, Shane.
Yes.
I think we did this with the Florida one. I'm liking this so much. Let's just go through the teams here in the Southeastern Conference. How many would leave their current program to go to LSU? A&M, Mike Elko, number one in the SEC. I think he's would not leave.
I don't think he'd leave
because he's got it rolling.
Yeah.
Kalen DeBoer at Alabama. No. Okay. Kirby Smart. No. I think just he is Georgia. Lane Kiffin.
Yes.
Yeah. Clark Lee.
Yes.
Maybe Sarkisian.
Nah, I don't think so.
After these rumors, I don't know. Shane, I don't know. Josh Heupel? I think he might.
Yeah, he may consider it. They keep talking about his weight and everything. You may go Coach O and start jogging down there, you know?
Eli Drinkwitz, I think for sure would.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Not that they would want him, but Brent Venables?
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
he's an Oklahoma guy.
I think he's at his dream job.
Yeah,
I mean, realistically, yeah.
So we'll say no on that one.
Yeah, no on that one.
Because LSU would know him too.
I mean, technically Clark Lee is too, but you better damn believe he'd go.
Hugh Freeze, he'd be there tomorrow, don't you think?
He's down there right now. Him and his prayer warriors trying to get in, huh?
Shane Beamer, right?
Yeah.
For sure. And then Lebby and Mark Stoops, which Stoops may be the call.
He just Stoops would be there. Yeah. I like to drink.
But point being, hell, I mean, most of these guys would leave their job, I think, to go take the LSU job. So, buddy.
I don't think this is going to be a quick move either. You know, I feel like there's a couple. I was kind of surprised, you know, with some of the early firings because it doesn't do anything. It's not like we're getting any names out there or anything. So, but you talking about an eventful offseason, right?
What it's doing, Shane, is giving them time to line up, I think, get their ducks in a row, figure out where the NIL situation's at, iron out potential contract so that when this does happen, like whenever the regular season ends, whenever guys are available, it's not going to take weeks. It's going to take hours to days to hire a coach.
Yeah.
That's what's going on at Florida and Arkansas and now LSU. These places will know who they're hiring as soon as the season's over with. So that's why it's taking place.
You think Brian Kelly's taking that Penn State job?
That's not bad. I don't know if they take him though.
Yeah.
Do you?
I don't know. I mean,
maybe they would.
Yeah. I mean, because he's got a lot of 10-win seasons while he's down here in the SEC. So
right.
It's just they're expecting. It's just how embarrassing it happens, you know. And I thought about this when Coach O, you know, you think about after the 2020 season, he just had a rough go. I mean, but you look at the wins losses prior to what he was able to do. It's like, nah. As soon as you get on the bad side, you're out. They cut you, you know.
And shout out Judy. He says, so LSU better than a Florida job. I certainly think it is.
Yeah.
Would Lane pick them over the Gators? This might ruin my Christmas. Sorry to ruin it for you, Junior. But hell yeah, his daughter already did.
I told you, Lane, there's 3 jobs in the SEC that he would leave. I always said it would be Bama, which he won't get, Texas, which he could get. Because that's another one. You know, say what you want. We joke about it now, but if Sarkisian does go to the NFL, you talk about an interesting, you know, what happens when that job opens up. Would Lane take Texas or would he take LSU?
Texas.
Yeah.
I think so.
Oh, God. Texas fans are like, get out of here, go to the NFL. Start firing up those NFL rumors again.
And here's another thought, Shade. So, I mean, for a couple weeks now, we've been thinking Hugh Freeze is going to get fired.
Yep.
He may not, but I still think he will if they know what they're doing. And then Stoops.
Yeah.
Stoops, that speculation has been out a while. Billy Napier, of course, as soon as they lost to South Florida. But how quickly, now I've been calling out Brian Kelly for a while.
Yeah.
But he basically went to not on the hot seat to his ass is out in about 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So that could happen to it. Let's say that happens, that scenario I just laid out, which today, Cousin Shane is saying, oh, no way that guy's getting fired. And then in 3 weeks' time, a coach, and I'm, not that you're guaranteeing this happens, but because I got one in mind, but is there a coach right now that you think is on a safe spot that in 3 to 4 weeks, let's just say the end of the season, that they're like, man, we got to get rid of this fool?
Do I think one that's safe right now, but they would want to get rid of him?
In 4 weeks.
In 4 weeks?
Could be gone.
Yeah, I would say, let me think. Drink is one of them. Not hot seat, but I'm just saying, like, if he just loses the next 3 weeks.
Fire Drake? They're gonna give him an extension. What are you talking about?
No, but look at the games, right? If they lose 3 weeks, this is a team that is potentially going to play. You're asking me. Like
they didn't fire him,
brother. I'm not saying they would fire him, but I'm talking about the fans would want him gone.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe you misunderstood me because this is the one, Shane, is Venables, to where he's not getting fired. Hell, I think he could lose out. He may not get fired, but I think if he loses out, same deal as Brian Kelly right now. They're going to be look, Missouri at home. That's the one. If he loses, let's say, which is totally conceivable, Shane. Let's say they lose at Tennessee, they lose at Alabama, and then they come home, they lose to Missouri at home. Those damn fans, they're going to be chanting, "Fire Brent, fire!" They're going to get his ass out of here. So that he was kind of the one I'm and then one other one, which I think this guy's a really good coach. Yeah. I would not fire him under. I would just, even if we lose out, I'd say we just had a bad year. We'll rebound. This is what this guy does. But it's Beamer.
Yeah.
And again, I don't think Venables or Beamer's getting fired. I'll just put that out there. But those are the two that fit what I just said. We're 0 to 100 quickly.
Yeah, but go back to South Carolina. I think that's a good point. I mean, if you end the season 4-8, you know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
I'm not saying they're firing him,
just an off year.
But it's the same. It's the same thing. It's next year they bounce back, but coming in with I don't know, the expectations built around Lenore Sellers winning a Heisman and Dylan Stewart. I mean, you talk about there's some studs on this roster. Now this whole roster isn't full of them, but it's got enough star power that you're just thinking, hey, why are we sitting here not going to a bowl at the end of the year? So I feel like there could be a little pressure.
Yeah, see, Scott's 100% right. Eli, he would have to lose the next 16 games to get fired.
I'm not saying he's going to. I probably shouldn't have worded it that way. I meant like
he's getting an extension. He's leaving or he's getting an extension. That's what's happening.
Mizzou is one of the funniest fan bases ever because last year they were out on him again. It's like as soon as you hit, fuck it, go out here, let's get this guy. I'm like, what? What are you talking about? You single-handedly have gone from a non-10 win season to back to back to back. And you're expanding the stadium, your NIL budgets there, you're changing legislation. It's like, get him out here. I just don't think he's the right guy. So it's like, no. I'm all on drink, but I'm just saying, at the end of the day, does that pressure get to him where he's just like, well, shit, if you don't want me here, I'll just go here.
Shout out to DJ Swag, Brian Kelly to Arkansas. Are there any openings in the SEC? Arkansas, Florida, about to be Auburn, about to be Kentucky, perhaps. No. Any of them would take Brian Kelly?
They'll all take him, but that bastard ain't sticking around. He's getting the hell out of the South. You're going to find him a little cushy job, where he can win 9 games and they have a statue of him out front. So I would imagine a Big Ten, maybe an ACC team even, since he's kind of got down here.
Like Virginia Tech. That's like a good spot for him.
Virginia Tech, North Carolina, one of those top jobs I think would be great for him. He's not getting out of coaching anytime soon, but yeah, he's getting out of the South for sure. Him and his family.
All right. Hey, I was just trying to get you to the Week 10 opening lines real quick here, Shane.
Yes.
Guessing the lines, and again, we got a hell of a weekend. Nothing but conference games. Our favorite, Shane, absolute favorite. To wrap us up, we got Ole Miss hosting them South Carolina Gamecocks. What's the opening line? South Carolina at Ole Miss.
Ole Miss, 11.
13.5.
Okay.
Close. How about them wild Kentucky Wildcats, Shane? At Old Auburn. If fighting Hugh freezes, Kentucky at Auburn, what's the opening line?
I'd say Auburn, 8.5.
Damn, you're good, Shane. 9.5.
Ooh.
Okay. And then the Somebody's Gotta Win Bowl, Mississippi State at Arkansas. Somebody has to win, I think. Mississippi State at Arkansas. What's the opening line?
They don't do ties anymore, so I would say, oh, that's a good one, man. I'd probably say Arkansas. I'd say Arkansas 3.
4.5.
Okay.
You were close.
Yeah.
All right, Georgia, Florida, and Jacksonville, of course.
Georgia, 10.
7.5. How about that? Getting a bump from Fire than Billy, I guess.
Kirby just punched a wall.
Oklahoma at Tennessee, night game here.
Tennessee 28. Nah, joking. Oh, I've seen our defense. I'd say Tennessee 5.
3.5. And then game of the week, perhaps. Vanderbilt, mighty Vanderbilt at mighty Texas, Shane. Vanderbilt at Texas. What's the opening line?
I'd say pick 'em.
Texas, 2.5.
Okay. Fair enough. That may move.
Hey, maybe we should. Maybe we could hire Brian Kelly to be our salesman or something.
Yeah.
Hey, real quick, we got all these. Shout out JR.
Thanks.
So many of these. JR gifted Robert Lane, Trey Drawdy. He gifted Man with the Plan. Steven Up. He gifted Hank. Appreciate you, Hank. Trey's got like a million of these, so I wrote them all down.
Trey.
John Westfall. Appreciate you. Cousin Lou gifted Dave Madden. Cousin All Day Trey gifted Timothy Anderson. Kevin James. Steve Johnson, Altman 797, Grease 88,
Damn, Trey.
Gray God, Gatman, and then Anthony Ellison all became members.
Welcome to the family.
And then Crub, appreciate you. I know Pavia won, but did he get outplayed by Zollers? Freshman looked good.
Zollers look good. Made a couple of dumb mistakes, but that's just because he doesn't have the reps.
Right.
You know, I think about that fumble in particular. So.
Gregory Grogan praying for Bo, but with 4 games left, do you think we bring back Bo if Matt plays really well versus A&M?
No. If Matt plays well, why would you? Yeah. Hot hand. Look good. It just felt like the whole field opened up, you know? Bo, I feel like it's like within 20 yards, you know? Then all of a sudden it's like, oh, shit, we can throw down the field. So,
but is that because they don't have film on Zollers?
Could be. I mean, but I don't know. I mean, I don't think so. Okay. I'm not going to ruin it. Not going to ruin it. They've had enough.
MU Ruby Tuesdays, what a name. Really impressed by the Mizzou D. We'll be back.
Hell yeah.
Storm Chaser, I missed it, but I appreciate you. He gifted one.
Thank you, Storm.
Cousin Lou, Mike, if Mighty Texas goes 3-1 in their last games, will that be enough with a 9-3 record? I don't think so. Well, I mean, it will be a couple top 10 wins, right?
Yeah.
9-3. Does that get you in the playoffs, Shane?
Nope.
What if they beat at Georgia and they beat A&M?
I think you can make an argument for 9-3 SEC teams, but Texas will not be one of them.
The rest of their wins are pretty bad.
Exactly.
Got to win out, I think.
Yeah, and it's the wins you got haven't been impressive. It's not like you're just,
Warby Bot. I don't know if it's a copiism these Longhorns are on, but that was a ass whooping is coming to Austin, whether they like it or not. Thanks, St. Giga. Jacob, appreciate you. Beat LSU and steal their 26 recruiting class. Giga. Dane, yeah, there was like 5 bajillion people. We were talking BK for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
They were all like, Brian Kelly got fired. Brian Kelly got fired. I was like, we've been talking about it for 20 minutes. Junior, oh wait, we got that one already. Phil, appreciate you. Did Zollers earn starting consideration regardless of injury?
Yes.
Shane says yes. I say no. Wait and see. Dane, good game. LSU playing a close away game in Cowfield East.
Yes.
Scott, boys, Eli would have to. Yeah, okay, we got that one. And then last one, Paxton. How many of these blue blood coaching fires can afford it before they are down in a hole financially? Yeah, that's a good point. And I hope to God it never comes to this, Shane.
Yeah.
We might be the SEC brought to you by Saudi Arabia if we can fire all these damn coaches. But they've got to have this figured out before they fire people. You know what?
Yes, absolutely.
All right, anything else, buddy? I know we went a little bit long here.
No, that's it. That's it. Wild, wild weekend, and we're just getting going, man. I mean, if you know how this season ends, please tell me because I have no freaking clue right now. But I appreciate all the cousins hanging out, and it doesn't cost a dime to hit that thumbs up. So if you would, this family would appreciate it. JP coming through. Shout-outs go to Tamby, Trey Drawdy, Stephen Up, Jason James, Rancho Texano, well, that's a big one. What's that? Vespuvius? How you say that? Vespuvius?
Sure.
Yeah. Crump, Gregory Grogan, Marbury Tuesdays, Cousin Lou, Storm Chaser, Warby Bot, Jacob Bench, Junior, Scott's Fitz, Paxton, and of course, the OG legend, Cousin JR. Thank you all. Thank you, JP. Appreciate you.
All right. Hey, that's going to do it. We'll be back tomorrow with another Marler Monday. Stephen Lasson will be back 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 Central. As always, stay locked in. If there's any more firings, hirings, whatchamacallits, I'll be here, stand by, ready to go live at any point in time. We appreciate each and every one of you. We'll catch you on the next one.
All right. See you guys. Go Ball.
Hey, buddy, this beer's for you, Mike, and Cousin Shane. That SEC podcast loves the Pirate, and the Pirate loves that SEC podcast. Hail State.